Hey, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I will be reviewing the Crescent 8-inch Adjustable Ratcheting Flex Wrench. Now, right off the bat, you must be thinking, what on earth sort of piece of junk is that? Why would you ever need a adjustable ratcheting flex wrench? It does not serve any purpose. And most people would think that, but when I saw this for sale on Amazon, I thought to myself, I gotta have that. That is definitely something that will come in handy in the most weirdest of moments. And in the past week and a half, while using this, I realized exactly what I need this for, and so have some of my coworkers. Some of them just wanted to try the silly thing out, but a few of them did really make use of this thing, and they've also thought of buying one of these themselves. And I'll talk about the uses in a bit and where I actually use this thing instead of the right tool for the job. And I'm pretty sure that was a right tool for the job. It's just it wasn't in my toolbox at the time, and this thing came in handy and did the job exactly the way I wanted it to. So let's take a look at the original listing here. So initially it went for about $35.99, and now it retails for $19.97 or $20. As you can see, it's by the Crescent company, aka the company that makes the Crescent wrench, which is a generic term for any adjustable wrench, because Crescent is the company that technically invented the adjustable wrench. So the term Crescent wrench gets thrown around for all adjustable wrenches, but Crescent is a company on its own, kind of like Channel Lock. Channel Lock is also a company that invented the channel lock pliers, so they got the term Channel Lock after the name of the company. So this is a Crescent branded wrench, and I've seen a few of these with this same weird setup here by other companies as well, but I believe Crescent was the first to do this awkward, weird wrench. So right off the bat, you must be asking, how does it even ratchet? This is how it ratchets. This part is spring-loaded at the top here, and it shows you the direction like that, where you pull it downwards like that, and then when there's force applied here, when you're pulling it down, force applied on the top here, it engages the ratcheting mechanism, and it won't work in that way. So that's why there's an arrow. There's an arrow on that side as well. So you're going against the top of the wrench there. This engages or disengages the flex mechanism. As you can see, it's not the greatest flex mechanism ever. It's a bit on the looser side. As you can see, with a bit of force, it just slips down. But when you do lock it in place, it definitely stays there. It's not moving anywhere. It's got a bit of give to it, as you can see. But the overall, it's overall pretty solid. As you can see, I'm putting a lot of force on there. It's not going to slip. The worm gear mechanism is okay. It's not the most firm. It's got a bit of slop to it, as you can see. Let me bring that closer. So a bit of slop to it, but I've seen more expensive adjustable wrenches with way more slop than this. So it's actually on the better side of things. Overall craftsmanship, pretty good, I'd say. It's not the best ever, but it's definitely not bad, and especially for just $20, I'm not complaining here. And again, it is an 8-inch with the maximum size up to 30 millimeters there, as you can see. So now the elephant in the room is that, what purpose does this weird thing serve? And I'll tell you what I used it for. So over the past week and a half, one good example of me using this was on a telehandler. It was a bolt that was in a really weird spot, or the nut was in a really weird spot, and could we have put a bunch of, well, swivel heads and a bunch of things together with a bit of an extension and all of that stuff together? Could we have technically put that setup together and got that thing out? Yeah, of course. But it was still like I was upside down and reaching under to undo this nut, and we could have used the right tool for the job, of course. And I definitely had a set of all of that could have got that done, a combination of a swivel and extension and the whole lot in my toolbox. That was just basic stuff. However, this thing was just lying there, and I thought, maybe I'll just give it a try. So what I did was, and by the way, this was in a weird position. There was like a steel beam running through like that, and then the bolt or the nut was here and the steel beam was in the way. a good set of an extension and a swivel could have somewhat easily reached it. By the way, it was in the dark as well. We were flashing a light up. We were upside down. It was an odd position. So instead of using all of that, what I did was I grabbed this thing, undid that, put it in like that, and I knew the size of the bolt roughly. At the time, I think the size was a 15 or something. I can't remember. But what I did was I set it to that, and this worm gear did hold that size in place really well. Got it on there, and then started doing that, and it did work perfectly. Sure, you have to put a bit more force into it for it to ratchet, but it got the job done. And I think it was the other way first, because we were loosening it, and when we went to put that piece of frame-like thing that we were undoing back together, we were tightening it like that, and it did get the job done. You do have to put a bit of force into it, but it still does do a pretty good job. So that was one example of how I use this thing. And usually it's always in a weird tight position, and maybe when you can't figure out a combination of combination of attachments or extensions and wobbles and all of that stuff, and you just really want to get the bolt off, you can just stick this thing in there. Sure, there will always be tools that can get the job done, but this is just an option that I had lying around. I thought I'll use it, and it did the job well. It didn't slip and strip out the nut. It didn't do anything of the sort. It did hold it did hold the size really, really well. I didn't have to adjust it at all, and it got the job done just fine for me. And another good example was, again, excuse me, in a weird position. Again, I believe it was under a boom lift. Yeah, it was under a boom lift. Again, trying to undo a nut. Weird position. Didn't want to crawl out under there. I put together a bunch of things to reach that nut, and instead put this, did that, put it under there, locked it, adjusted the size, and got it out just fine. I just told my co-worker, hey, could you hand me the weird flex head wrench adjustable that's in my toolbox? And he did, and I went and got the job done. So sure, there are better tools for the job, but this thing can definitely get the job done as well. It's sort of a novelty. It's sort of a bit of a weird tool, I say, and I do keep it in my weird tool drawer with all the other unusual stuff. You're also looking at another one over there, and we'll discuss that thing in a different video. There's actually a smaller one like that. We'll discuss those in a different video, but I do have a drawer for unusual tools in my toolbox, so that's where this thing sits. But yeah, it gets the job done for me when it's needed, and honestly, I'd recommend this thing. I'd say, instead of just hating on it because of its weird, awkward setup, you go give it a try. It's only 19 bucks, and I know there'll be a day where you may need this thing. So that was just my quick review of this adjustable ratcheting flex head ratchet from Crescent. And I believe it's only in 8 inches. They don't make a bigger one. So as usual, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up on the like button down below, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and ring that bell notification button so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you have any questions or comments regarding this weird thing, and I'm pretty sure you do have a lot, don't forget to leave them down in the comment section below. We can start a discussion, or I can answer your questions. Thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video.